Hello. I know I'm live. I gotta get this all situated. Yeah. I was just making sure I was live. Oh man, alright, what's up? So, it's January 6th, which, it's a federal holiday in a way, for the United States. We are not celebrating anything though, and it's actually not a holiday, but man, 2 years ago, there was an attack on the Capitol. So there's that. Um, I don't have, but I've actually been doing a little bit of research into the January 6th attacks, just not as like a side project for me, and so that way I understand a little bit better of the day, what following investigation on found, and all that stuff. So I'm doing my own little thing there. Um, so there's that going on for sure. But yeah, other than that, other than it being Chan 6, just chilling, hanging out, I guess. Let's see. Okay. This week has been somewhat eventful. Dude, uh, apparent apparently we're starting to boycott everything in life because of its proximity to quote unquote Zionism. It's very weird. Like right now, a big thing, or I've been arguing this week, but big thing was boycotting Starbucks, which I've been arguing about, and basically saying that Starbucks, you are never going to make a dent in their sales, at least not meaningfully, because this kind of boycott would need to be very well organized and it would have to sustain for a long period of time for it to actually mean anything. And I don't think that's possible. But besides that, and off of principle, if you want to do it, obviously you have the freedom to boycott anything you would like. That said, I take major issue with some misinformation that's going about. Actually, that's really the main thing I take issue with. Boycotting aside in its efficacy, obviously, I think that it's dumb, especially against multinational corporations, but it's more so the misinformation part. With Starbucks, the claim is that they are funding a genocide. Which, like, it's not really true. So they've been facing criticisms regarding the funding of Israel and the subsequent funding of genocide, which, firstly, it's kind of loaded to say that because, like, there's even debate to be made whether or not genocide's taken place. But besides that, let me see if I can find this link. Let's see. Because, like I said, there could be debate to be made about whether or not it's funding a genocide at all. Well, basically, it was so there's two things being conflated. Okay, so let me see. I gotta find this account actually. Oh yeah, I was blocked. So yeah. The dip in sales, and it's not even sales actually, because there's a little bit of a conflation going on. So there's a conflation, it seems, between um, the sales of Starbucks and its market value, which is those are two different things. But this person said that they lost $10 million in sales, which is slightly inaccurate because we're actually referring to billions of dollars in market value. Those are different, but it's not as a consequence of the boycotts. And this is actually a left-leaning source too. Data collected by third parties suggests that foot traffic and sales may be falling short of Wall Street expectations. Not necessarily that sales aren't growing, it's that they're not growing as much as investors thought. Starbucks has seen negative headlines about, fucking up with unions. They walked off the job. Red Cup Day, when it gives out free reusable seasonal cups. In addition, it has found itself caught in the crosshairs of the Israel-Hamas war after the pro-Palestine tweet from the union that prompted calls for a boycott on the right and on the left, though analysts say it's hard to know the impact these calls are having on the actual business or its stock price. I don't think it's the protests that are driving this, said Sarah Senator, senior research analyst at Bank of America. The timeline of foot traffic declines doesn't really line up with the boycotts. Plus, Starbucks is no stranger to controversy. This is not the first time that we've seen this kind of activity, so it's hard, in my view, to conclude that it's the reason that traffic's been so slow. The long and short of what's happening with Starbucks right now is that investors believe things aren't going as well as they thought they would. The company had a strong quarter in the July-September period. Same store sales in the United States were up by 8% over the prior year, and it saw an increase in store traffic and average ticket sizes. It got a sales boost on its pumpkin spice latte and other seasonal specialties. In the following months, in the October-December quarter, some data suggests Starbucks isn't doing as well, or at least not as well as expected. It appears its deals and specials just aren't hitting as well as anticipated. During the last month or so, foot traffic has been all that great, so that's a big contributor, it seems like. And given the high expectations Starbucks went into the quarter with, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown versus those highs. So it's attributed to multiple things. One, the foot traffic, and two, them having high expectations going into the quarter itself. So they're underperforming in both of those regards. Last quarter, they had some very successful seasonal and limited time offers, and currently we're not seeing that same kind of direction. The Red Cup Day just saw a 32% boost in foot traffic compared to 81% in 2022, according to data provided by Box, a media tracking and insights company. Readership on news about Starbucks related to Red Cup Day was much higher in 2022 than in 2023. Workers walked off the job in both years, and readership about that news declined too, though to a lesser extent. Last year's success. Okay. So in early December, they said that the demand is still there. The issue may not yet have been on the company's radar, that's true. Keeping in mind, too, that third-party data on traffic and sales is not always completely reliable, and a clearer picture won't come until next earnings release. The Starbucks boycott stuff is important and confusing, but it's not clear if that's a big deal, financially speaking. Of course. So after the October 7th shit, one of the unions for Starbucks said solidarity with Palestine. and above an image of Hamas bulldozer tearing down a fence along the Gaza Strip. Jesus. The tweet was quickly deleted, and the union was distancing itself from the message, which it says wasn't authorized by it or its workers. Starbucks and the workers' union have since sued each other over the matter. Starbucks doesn't want Starbucks Workers United using its copyright and trademark, and it says the union's actions have led to complaints because people mistakenly tied the tweet, which it says many people interpreted as support for the October 7th violence, to the company. The union sued back, claiming defamation and saying it's been using the same Starbucks Workers United since 2021. Both parties said they're concerned for worker safety. So this was this is what they have in terms of funding genocide. This is the main argument that is employed. It's the fact that it's actually this entire paragraph. The fact that the union used Starbucks copyright, and as a consequence, Starbucks themselves sued for defamation, and this led to many people believing that Starbucks, the corporation, was pro-Zionist and, whatever, right? And this really sparked, it appears as though this is the main thing that sparked the boycotts themselves. That being said, it's not the only thing that has contributed to the matter, because I believe the CEO of Starbucks has ties to Israel in some respect. Maybe he's Israeli himself? I don't... Or he supports Israel, something like that. The CEO is Laxman Narish. Okay. Starbucks chief executive officer on Tuesday said that people protesting the company and disrupting the store. Misinformation. Cities around the world. So they're already embroiled in a bunch of other shit that seems to be, like, negatively contributing financially to the company and its market share. The union shit is a problem. The foot traffic is a problem. It's just really difficult, it seems, to attribute this to the boycotting. So there, at best, we could say there's not enough evidence. Yeah, they said that. We got that. Yep. We unequivocally condemn these acts of terrorism, hate, and violence, and disagree with the statements and views expressed by the Workers United and its members. Workers United's words and actions belong to them and them alone. So yeah, this was a union that made the statement that wasn't apparently authorized, and it used copyright shit from Starbucks, and this is what prompted them to pursue a defamation lawsuit. And that would make sense because, like, if you're a business, you don't want to alienate your customer base, right? So picking a side in a very controversial matter would not be advantageous. But regardless, that is the main thing there. But they aren't funding genocide. They're not sending Israel funds or any of that shit. I don't even think they don't even have any stores in Israel, or Gaza or whatever. So, like, there's, like, nothing. Palestine supporters are calling for boycott. Starbucks over his reaction to... Yeah, so this is definitely a steel man of their position, because they are... What's actually happening, at least from what I saw, and I could be wrong, is that they are mostly just protesting Starbucks and boycotting it for the sake of them funding genocide. That seems to be a big thing. Yeah, supports Israel. Okay. pro-Palestine protesters have also gathered outside some Starbucks store. Starbucks has said that neither it nor Schultz provided financial support to the Israeli government or army. This is something that could be backed up actually pretty easily. Now, whether or not Schultz himself has contributed to Israel is one thing. He's an individual citizen. The claim being laid out is that Starbucks as a company is funding genocide and it's funding Israel, which you can look at. They're a publicly traded company. You can look at their proxy statement and you can see the contributions they're making, and they're not sending funds to Israel or anything really adjacent to it. So anyway, but anyway, people are fucking. So this is the video in question that prompted my response. So people are out here drinking Starbucks. I don't know where this is. Why are they... Dude, why are they... Why... These are kids, right? Like, why are they doing this? You need to embarrass people in front. You need to... Wait, hold on. Man, this is re-triggering me again. These kids saw Starbucks started chanting for Palestine. No, like, you need to embarrass people in and out of Starbucks. That's totally if, by the way, if this were on the other foot, this is fucking crazy. Because, first and foremost, this is not going to deter people from buying Starbucks, most importantly. It might deter them as far as, like, going out in public and drinking Starbucks, whatever. But they could easily just, like, Uber Eats their order and then like drink it in private, you know, like I don't think that this is going to meaningfully contribute to anything. So that's the first thing, but also, like, these are kids. Why are we having children do the legwork for your political ideology? Like, it's, yeah. And and by the way, if this were on the other foot, if this were like Zionists saying this shit, it should, and I would rightfully call that out, because, like, these are kids, like, they shouldn't be embroiled in that kind of shit. Because maybe this is I don't know where this is. I guess that's important, but yeah. But that's basically what I said. I probably could have elaborated a little more, but it basically doesn't really accomplish anything. The Starbucks losing 10 million in sales. Again, that's a misreading, because it wasn't 10 million. It was I think 11 billion in market share, which is different. Obviously, people pointing out the Ukraine flag, which I've had for 2 years now, in my username. Obviously, playing the race card here doesn't apply really, because, yeah. I just think it's really dumb, honestly. People want to, like, bully people and harass them out in public, which is a public misdemeanor, I think. But even if it weren't, like, I think that's really shitty behavior. Like, they're just sitting trying to enjoy their day, and they're getting harassed by these hecklers. Now, in this case, it's children, but I'm sure that's not always the case. And these motherfuckers wouldn't be doing the same, would never be doing this in public. They are keyboard warriors first and foremost. I know, this person said I was quiet, even though I after posting that, I went to sleep. By the way, Israel has free health care, but yet you're mad. I don't think I've read every comment. I haven't really had the time to. You're mad at people who want to stop kids from dying. You're pathetic. You're bitching up against genocide. You're a loser. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Damn. I'm not. The funny thing is, like, I'm not even like, I'm not a Zionist, and I'm not like even that against Palestinians in general. But it's funny that like expressing disagreement here is enough to rile these people up into a fucking frenzy and start being like literally homophobic, transphobic. It's crazy. The same people who, by the way, claim to be like the biggest empaths, bottoms on the planet, are actually fucking psychotic, evil people. But anyway, yeah. So I guess now they're boycotting McDonald's too. They're boycotting every fucking business basically. When you spread yourself out, just from a logistics standpoint, if you spread yourself out this much with like all these different like companies and shit, you're really gonna not be successful because like we live in a capitalist society. There's really gonna be not many options for you in terms of, you know, goods or services. And not only that, but many people who may otherwise be sympathetic towards your cause, if you say, hey, this thing that you like getting every week in the groceries or whatever the case may be, you can't do that anymore because you fund genocide. You're evil if you do it. But yeah, I guess they're. It's so dumb, man.
Boycott McDonald's! Boycott McDonald's! Boycott McDonald's! Boycott McDonald's!
And literally, like, your McDonald's is like a multi-billion-dollar company. And I understand, like, I like the issue I have isn't the fact that it's not like that I think they shouldn't be doing it, I guess. It's more the fact that I think they're doing something. Like, doesn't really accomplish anything. Like, you would be better off just generally protesting against Israel, right? Yeah, just. It's crazy. What the fuck? Okay. Wow. I mean, like, it's crazy, man. So I guess we're gonna see this now more than ever with every single company getting boycotted for their supposed political affiliation with certain groups of people. Yeah. Damn, they have a full fucking list too. Nestle, I don't have any problem with boycotting Nestle, I guess. At least they're consistent though. KFC, Disney. The problem is like we live in a society for which many of our goods and services are created unethically. So like at this point, literally you may as well squall with or you may as well like go fucking frolic with the birds and deer in the woods because like there's nothing really you can do by participating within a collective society that isn't like immoral if we're gonna have this as a standard, right? Crazy shit. Oh man. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a whole thing now. But what you gonna do? Oh shit, they have like a whole ass video here. McDonald's employees exposes what they do. This would have never came up if like it weren't for these boycotts. 110%. 110%.
It's not hard to see the appeal of fast food. It's budget friendly, it's convenient, and if you're not expecting Michelin star quality,
Wait, is that Professor Flowers?
it can be pretty tasty.
Oh, wow.
Oh shit, yeah, I think it is. Professor Flowers is like the biggest fucking, yeah, okay. Professor Flowers is basically a tanky if you're unaware. Oh, very far left.
That is really good.
But appetizing and safe are two different things. See, while parents might compulsively check their kids' candy after every Halloween for potential tampering, perhaps this energy is better spent examining those meals served to customers in a paper bag.
I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, I've never seen something this disgusting.
Yeah, no. 100% no for me.
Like, seriously, McDonald's, what?
People are suing your favorite fast food restaurant.
So the thing is like McDonald's and these fast food restaurants are major fucking corporations with thousands of stores. So and the labor force for these fast food restaurants are going to be primarily like younger people or very older people, right? So with those two things combined, and you can even just look at the first thing with how many stores they have. There's always going to be instances where an order is like served like either like a burger's undercooked or like there's fucked up shit like the maggots that you saw. Like there's always going to be those kind of like crazy things that you see just because of the scale of these restaurants.
Items are being recalled. Effective immediately, a stop and sell and discard.
That's true. So anyway, by the way, just as a precursor here, I've worked at McDonald's for 5 years, from like 2015 to 2021. I worked at McDonald's as a manager, and it is the case. There was an instance where we had to do, I think, like a recall on the lettuce or something. I think so. Yeah. So recalls definitely happen, but they happen in many different, restaurants as well, even those that are, even like grocery stores, you see recalls from the CDC, right?
Employees are being forced to serve food gone wrong.
But what about
Wait, forced to?
customer safety? Like, this stuff can get people really sick.
Customers have been hospitalized.
Can I talk to somebody about the inspection?
No, I can't, sweetie, I can't.
But the severity of some situations are life-threatening.
Several people became ill at the restaurant in Seekonk.
And some ingredients have no business winding up on a customer's plate.
Something's gotta change. Like, this is gonna get people sick. Like, really sick.
What are we supposed to be inferring from this shot here? Is it the fact that it wasn't like, I don't know what this is. What is this? It looks like the sauce that we use to microwave for like cheddar bacon onion sandwiches, I guess. I don't.
Is eating fast food still worth the risk?
Okay. So, like I said already, the scale of fast food is incredible. Many of these restaurants are not going to be like top tier Gordon Ramsay shit. The thing to take away from fast food is the convenience factor. That's the number one reason why anybody would be eating fast food, right? It's convenient and it's cheap. Those are the two main things. That being said, is eating fast food still worth the risk? I mean, like, it's not any more at risk than it were prior to the boycotts. So this entire segment is totally predicated off of that and just cruising, riding the tide with all that shit trending.
Somehow, this is an alarming trend. Whether it's a customer experiencing cramps after a late-night McDonald's run, patrons of restaurants coming down with mysterious illnesses, or rat poison somehow making its way into a Taco Bell burrito, grabbing a quick bite from a fast food chain has never seemed like such a hazardous mission.
I think we're speaking a little, like, I think we need to really look at, like, the data here. Like, of how many orders are taken for fast food restaurants, like, what proportion of them are reasonably suspected to harm a customer? I think that that's a thing we should look at. That would directly answer the video's thesis question, right?
But with businesses now being hit with lawsuits left, right, and center, are these allegations simply following in the footsteps of money grab suits of the past that sought to cash in on the billion-dollar industry?
That scandal at Subway, you may have heard about this one. It turns out some of their famous foot-long sandwiches have been coming in a bit short. And that, perhaps not surprisingly, has now led to a lawsuit.
A New York woman says she spent $20 for a bucket of chicken last summer and was disappointed when the meal fell short of what was advertised.
A new federal lawsuit alleging that mega coffee.
Some of these seem kind of frivolous, though. I bought a thing of chicken and it was disappointing. Like, what? Some more context there would be appropriate, right? Disappointing in the sense that you didn't get enough chicken, disappointing in the sense that it wasn't good enough, disappointing in the sense that it was laced with cyanide. Like, what was there's a whole chasm of things there.
Has now led to a lawsuit.
A New York woman says she spent $20 for a bucket of chicken last summer and was disappointed when the meal fell short of what was advertised.
A new federal lawsuit alleging that mega coffee chain Starbucks is burning their customers when it comes to iced beverages. The suit alleging the brand serves up more ice than coffee.
Or are these discounted dinners really coming at the unadvertised cost of consumer health and safety? To answer this question, let's take a look at what's really going down in some of the most frequented kitchens in the world. And what better place to start than the chain that's synonymous with fast food itself, McDonald's. Whether it's those glowing yellow arches, the colorful mascots, or childhood memories of play place birthday parties, McDonald's has lastingly seared itself in American iconography. And just like the business itself, the restaurant's menu is its own legacy, full of household names from Happy Meals to Big Macs. And, of course, the timeless favorite, Chicken McNuggets. But what if we told you those golden, bite-sized snacks might not be as harmless as they look? In January 2023, Toronto news source Blog TO reported that an Ontario woman was sick for days after ordering chicken nuggets from a McDonald's location in the city. Rebecca Boyd had originally intended to share with her 3-year-old daughter. Luckily for the toddler, the nuggets were too hot for her to consume right away. Unfortunately for Rebecca, she wasn't put off by a little heat. Hunger overriding reason, Rebecca was already 2.5 nuggets deep when she noticed what she was chewing on wasn't the normal texture of chicken, but raw and mushy. It turned out the dish had allegedly been dangerously undercooked.
That doesn't look like it was undercooked. That looks like, well, I'll let it play out.
And if the taste wasn't indicative of this, the nausea and flu-like symptoms Rebecca experienced in the following 3 days sure were. And according to tales passed around social media, Rebecca is far from the only person that's been served nuggets tartare.
Raw. Raw. Now let's see them under flash.
This was the one I bit into. This is one that I ripped.
Yeah, so, like, when that happens, like, there's only 2 things I can think of. One is that the nuggets were put on the wrong timer in the fryer, because there's different timers for, like, you can set the setting for the fryer to be for the McNuggets, for the McChicken, or the crispy chicken and filet of fish. With that said, and also the oil is different, because with the fish, the oil can't be go to, like, you can't use the same, like, thing that you put the filet in, the fish fillet in there, and use that same one for, like, McChicken, because that's, there's fish allergens there. But the only thing I can think of with, like, this is, like, it was on the wrong timer, because you can take it out. Like, I forgot how long nuggets take, maybe 3 minutes, 30 seconds, I don't remember. But, like, if the timer's different, then you can take it out early on by mistake, and it might look like it's done when actually on the inside it's not. So that's the only thing I can think of. But that's like a human error. That isn't necessarily a product error, right? The only other thing I can think of is that they weren't like stored properly. They weren't frozen. They were thawed and then they were put in there. That's another possibility, I guess.
To open, that's a cooked one. That's clearly raw.
One TikTok user even believed the chicken nuggets she was eating in Mexico must have used different ingredients.
Tastes different, right?
Yeah. There's like cheese in it. Or is it raw? I hope it's not raw.
Only to be hit with the realization that she hadn't been chowing down on the country's innovative twist on the classic, but what appeared to be raw meat. And it isn't just what's inside your McDonald's order that consumers should be worried about, but what's holding it together. It turned out numerous customers have allegedly found mold on the chain's buns.
Just got it from McDonald's. Look at that. Is that normal?
Yeah, so that obviously means that they didn't rotate the buns properly, and and that's either because they didn't put stickers on the buns to like say like by this date you gotta eat those buns, or they printed the wrong sticker on the buns and people just looked at the dates and not what the actual thing was. So that's another user error. Not necessarily a product itself error, right? But again, these are like, high schoolers working here. Not everybody, of course, but like a lot of their base is high schoolers, so it's part of the reason.
Yeah, so there's mold on my fish fillet sandwich that I just bought. That's disgusting.
And the ramifications of this oversight could be deadly.
So this message is...
Yeah, no shit. What is the point of this? Like, honest to God. We know that serving undercooked chicken to people can kill people. We know it's obviously not done on purpose, and it's egregiously irresponsible on the behalf of the workers to allow that kind of shit to happen. But, like, is this like a widespread issue as much as they're making it out to sound like? Because there's a bunch of anecdotal evidence. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, imagine, can you even think about how many fucking orders are in a one store McDonald's versus how many orders have been talked about in this video alone? Like, it's crazy. Like, we're talking about like we got to keep in mind the scale here.
just for McDonald's. Is your new standard serving your customers moldy food? My daughter is severely allergic to mold. Like, it can kill her. Had this been for her, I could be on my way to the hospital right now because of you guys, because of your negligence, okay?
But at least when McDonald's and other chains slip up, mold is pretty easy to spot, right? Well, this isn't always the case. Mold has the habit of hiding where customers are least likely to look, from the bottom of Domino's pizza crusts to inside a piece of KFC fried chicken. And sometimes it can go completely unseen, as customers and former McDonald's employees have alleged drink machines are rarely cleaned as thoroughly as they need to be.
There is mold in most frappe machines because both stores I've worked at in Ohio, I never seen anybody clean it properly. Nobody.
In fact,
nobody except me, bitch. Haha. I was like one of the few people I know that at my store that cleaned the ice cream machine and the frappe machine, and did it right.
An employee at a Louisiana McDonald's was so disturbed by the state of the drip tray for the restaurant's ice cream machine, he decided to snap a few pictures.
I asked my manager, I said, when's the last time y'all cleaned this? And she said, hurry up and bring it to the back before a customer sees it.
And while the employee was allegedly fired for posting the images online, it seems threats of termination aren't enough to keep fast food workers quiet.
This is what the inside of a broken McDonald's ice cream machine looks like.
Dog, they don't... Are you kidding me right now? It looks like they didn't even... It looks like this has never been cleaned. You see that? You see this? All this shit that's stained and, like, crusted? That's from the milk, like, curdling and all that.
Inside of a broken McDonald's ice cream machine looks like.
Dog, they did not clean that at all. You're supposed to clean the ice cream machine once a week.
The inside has never been cleaned.
Huh. Wait, is that like a fact of the matter, or is that just like them saying?
See, Unlike cooks at a 5-star establishment whose restaurant's reputation and livelihood go hand in hand, it's hard to buy the allegiance of fast food workers through bi-weekly minimum wage paychecks at a business that views them as replaceable. Of course, this means when something shady happens behind the scenes, there's not a lot holding these employees back from making such information public, which is exactly what one Taco Bell worker from Green Bay, Wisconsin decided to do when his boss allegedly crossed the line. Under the username Keep It Real for Life, the employee used TikTok to claim the Taco Bell location he worked at tried to make him serve ingredients that shouldn't be added to any customer's 5-layer burrito, chalupa, or crunch wrap.
Today is March 15th, right? Our area coach came in last night and told us we have to use beef that expired on February 27th of this year and March 10th of this year.
And it wasn't just expired beef For Life's boss allegedly asked employees to ignore the expiration date on.
We got onions that we have to use because they don't want to throw it out because of food costs.
But the idea that profits should trump customer safety made the employee uncomfortable.
I don't know if this is going on at other Taco Bells, but this one particular, it is bad.
For Life explained this practice wasn't just cheap, it was risky.
Something's got to change. Like, this is going to get people sick, like really sick.
And according to health...
So I'm not discrediting what this person's saying at all. I think we need to, and I don't know much about this, I really don't. This specific like TikToker or whatever, but like keep in mind and always keep in mind the fact that you're hearing this in the limelight of boycotting McDonald's, Starbucks, all this shit. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. I just keep in mind.
Line, ground meat is more prone to spoilage, meaning it goes bad faster. And while this spoilage usually only affects the odor and taste of the meat, it also makes it easier for the meat to develop pathogenic bacteria, a major culprit in food poisoning. Fever, cramps, and vomiting are just some of the symptoms customers could experience if their favorite Mexican-inspired meal was served with a side of expired beef. And there's always the possibility of more severe illness arising, especially in toddlers.
Dude, we fucking know that. We know that serving spoiled food and like, you don't need to hammer that point home enough. Like, we all get that. Like, you should focus more on the negligence part, not the fact that, like, this will kill you. Like, we all know that.
Children, and those with pre-existing health concerns. So workers at this Taco Bell allegedly took a stand. The TikTok user claimed managers and employees had left that specific location to work at other Taco Bell locations, so their jobs wouldn't be taken away if they refused to serve the expired meat and produce.
I don't know what you want to do, Taco Bell, but something's got to get figured out because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
The comment section of the TikTok was quickly taken over by viewers telling the employee to inform the health department of what was happening at the location. As one user commented, it's against core and food safety violations in the health department. But it seemed For Life was already aware of this, replying, "Oh, I know, but when your job is at stake, most employees will do what they are told. We didn't sell it on our shift, but the closing crew will." 2 days after the video was posted, For Life allegedly received a call from his boss.
She called me and said I'm fired. I was like, that's fine, but what about what you said to serve, what you told the employees to do to serve expired food? And she ended up hanging up on me.
Then he claimed HR called, threatening legal action if he didn't follow her request.
She didn't want anything to do with anything but me taking out my video.
But the video stayed up, a small act of defiance against a powerful business.
Alright, I don't know, I'm just kind of sick of this video. Do we get anything else? Anything else? It's a long video, I just don't want to watch it all. Well, yeah, that's going on. Everybody's boycotting everybody, I guess. Oh yeah. People were, there was this woman who was held hostage by Hamas, or Was it Israel? Sorry. Should I even go into this? This is gonna be a whole fucking thing. Well, let's move on. All right, I want to do this. Actually, before I do, I'm gonna have to take my dogs out. So I'll do that first. Hold on. Alright. I didn't take them out because they're sleeping. We're gonna... We'll play some Roller Coaster Tycoon. I wanted to do just like a little, this challenge with the park. I want to do, I want to make like an entire, like the park very themed and a very specific, and one very specific aesthetic. So we'll see how we could do that. Alright. Sorry. So, we have a lot of things we could work with, and I'm curious, like, what would be the best? Just not sure. So let me just give you a rundown on what's even available. Western, spooky, sci-fi, adventure, Atlantis, paradise, safari, prehistoric. Some of these kind of go hand in hand. Paradise Island and Adventure go well together aesthetically. If we look at, like... Yeah. Well, we can always mix and match anyway. But generally speaking, I'm curious what kind of theme we could do. Well, let's look at the topography first. So... You know what I'm thinking would be kind of cool? Would be if in the middle we have like a mountain, and around it we can surround it with like water, like a boat maybe. So we'll just fuck with it real quick. It's gonna be pretty fucking big. Just trying to see what it looks like from that perspective coming in. Just trying to get a central thing there to make it look... I want like a central thing to look nice. I think it's evenly distributed on both sides too, so that's good. Alright. I don't really have... I'm still trying to brainstorm a theme here. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. It's kind of like... Still trying to figure that out here. Let's see. Definitely want it at the base there. That's not all gonna be rock. I think I'm gonna make some of it like turn it into like it's gonna turn into mud because like there's gonna be water on the edges there. So we'll definitely fucks with that. Get some dirt in there too. I like the shading or the blending that this game automatically does for you. I think that's really helpful. Just want to make this look as blended as I can. While I'm at it, looks like we're missing a little thing there. I don't know what ice is gonna look like. Ah. That's fine, I think. Nah. Sugar would be, a little bit of ice here and there is fine. But I don't know. Maybe not, actually. Maybe like just at the top, because that's where you would expect it to be. Not everything's gonna be I don't think everything's gonna be like dirt around there. I want to get some rough grass texture too. So we actually got 4 layers here. So we have the rock, dirt, rough grass, then mud. That's how it looks so far. I think having that the central point is nice. I'm gonna save this now. Alright, I think that looks fine. Now I mentioned that I wanted to make like a little moat around it, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like that. Now, it doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to be smoothing it out. Looks like we gotta go a little deeper though. Don't know if it's deep enough. It doesn't need to be like perfectly, I guess, but yeah, it doesn't need to be like super deep or anything. Can water go in it? Yes, I can. Okay. Probably have dirt. I don't want cracked mud, that would make sense. Just do mud. This music's so chill though. Alright. I'm liking it so far. Some green spots are fine. Doesn't need to be, I guess, super perfect, but I would like it to look as close as I can to get to perfect. Alright. It's not quite centered, but good enough. So, what kind of, like, what other topography should we incorporate into this park? This is taking a big chunk, obviously. I'm thinking layout-wise, I'm gonna want to... I want there to be a clear-cut path to this thing from here. We could, like, do a little design of, like, 3s on the side. All right. I'm just brainstorming. I don't know if I'm going to keep this. This is just the entrance here. I don't even... I think we need to figure out topography more than anything before we start laying out paths. So I don't know if there's any sense of having a lot of buildable area behind this thing. It's a decent chunk though. Can definitely make this like a pond or something. I wonder if I could get away with making a waterfall. I don't think I can. Well, I guess we'll find out. Height difference? Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm gonna have to load back in. Maybe. Wait, didn't I just... I thought I said I had one saved here. Oh, that was... It must have been before I did the thing. Alright, well, I'll figure it out then. Actually, that kind of looks better. Right. Now that I know it'll connect, Alright. Hmm. I didn't put any mud over here, so I don't really have, like I said, I'm kind of like winging it right now, so. Nice. Okay. How might these, now I'm trying to think, like, what's a good theme here? I think, like, Atlantis might be good. Which would be fine, considering, the, pathway I have here. Just trying to get a good layout going. I wonder if I should make that sand. Not sure. Hopefully this isn't too long of a, we'll probably have, like, branching out in different directions at different points. So that way it's broken up a little bit. Because you shouldn't have to walk all the way down to get to where you want to go, right? What would different texture that game look like? I think how it is fine. Maybe dirt? What darker is that? That looks better, but... I'll leave it as grass for now. We'll figure it out eventually. All right. But we can have some entertainment both sides here. I'm trying to think what would be cool to look at. I think like having a some like it's kind of like I'm thinking in terms of Cedar Point where there's that the gatekeeper. Having that somewhere across here would be cool. I don't know how it would work, but I want it to where there's like a 0G roll over that. I have an idea. Well, shit. The one thing about RC3 I don't like is that it's so difficult to control. It's kind of too difficult. Alright. I have an idea if you couldn't tell. Let's see. Actually, a flying roller coaster would be fine. That would actually make a lot of sense. Inverted would probably be the best, actually. Fuck. The more I think about it, the more actually this roller coaster should go to the left. Or yeah, because not sure. That's 149. Hmm. Let's test it so we can see that we're actually going about it right. It should be a small loop, not a... It just barely gets over this hill, too. I think the drop needs to be steeper? Hmm. I think this drop is how it should be. Just brainstorming here. I don't know. How this is gonna look. I don't know, this kind of looks, the more I look at it, it just looks clunky. I don't know if I like what's going on over here. I don't even know if I like this. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I think... Instead, we should think of it this way here. I don't even know if I wanted it to go that direction. But that's like the best way. Almost 200 feet is wild. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect speed. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that to come this direction, unfortunately. Can't place track there, apparently. Okay. It's a mess. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll end stream now because like I'll try to figure out what I want to do with this, and I won't be like boring you guys. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.